afternoon, 8 minutes past 5. Now, do you have a favourite road? Because it seems many of us do. As the independent watchdog Transport Focus has released the latest list of the best and worst motorways and A-roads. 9,000 people were surveyed on how they rate things like roadworks, road quality and safety. Taking the top spot for motorways is the M40, which runs from Uxbridge to Birmingham, knocking Worcestershire's M5 down into third place, bottom of the motorway pile is M42, with the running between Bromsgrove and Ashby de la Zouche. The seventh best motorway is apparently the M6. The M54, which passes through Shropshire and Staffordshire, didn't even make the list, neither did the M50. Runs between the Worcestershire-Gloucestershire border and Ross-on-Wye in Herefordshire. The favourite A-road is the A19 from Newcastle to Middlesbrough, apparently, while the most reviled is the A12 between London and Lowestoft. Julian Phillips runs the Bewdley coach company, Phillips International Travel, and says the best places to stop are also a factor.
Yeah, they are important, particularly if you're going on a long journey. So I would say probably the M5, M6 probably the best in terms of the variety of places you can stop at, be it services or towns just off them.
I'm a bit partial to a particular brand along the M40 myself. Let's speak to Scott Dixon, a consumer and motoring disputes expert who hosts the Facebook page The Complaints Resolver. How are you, Scott?
Hi, Tony. I'm fine. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. Have you got a favourite A-road or motorway?
The A68 is quite a good road. When you get past Carter Bar on the Northumberland side, it's largely traffic free and no speed cameras, and it's just a nice scenic route, and it's really nice. The Scottish side, it's a bit more congested and not so pleasant. But yeah, that's my favourite A road, and also the A1. From Edinburgh down to Newcastle is quite nice as well. You know, going along the coastline to Berwick and then down the northeast coastline.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, such just wonderful scenic routes. I guess up in Northumberland. You mentioned that, I was thinking, oh yeah, I bet that's pretty. We have lots of pretty roads around here, though.
Oh yeah.
To be fair as well. Just the other day, I was on the A4117 going through Clee Hill, and it was a gorgeous day. And I thought, just the views across the city were fantastic. You had to avoid the free roaming sheep, mind. But to be honest, they were very good, not wandering into the road. You know, what are the sheep and what are the scenery thinking? I need to one day just stop off at the viewing point and take a picture, because it was just gorgeous when I was on the way to Ludlow the other day. To you, what makes a good road and a bad road?
Well, for a good road for me is smooth, no potholes, you know, the bane of everyone's life, I think, and lack of delays. You know, you just want a pleasant journey and just to get from A to B. And it's interesting, the common theme with the bad roads is the reduced and variable speed limits for no apparent reason, and also unnecessary roadworks, potholes and delays. So, and it's interesting that the overall satisfaction with the motorways and major A roads, it's declined slightly from 73% in 2022-23 to 71% in 23-24, and it's road surface quality satisfaction that seems to be the cause of it. That's dropped from 73% to 68%.
Right. Well, the government's putting in initiatives to try and tackle that, I guess, but yeah, you want an easy drive. You don't want to be worrying about what damage you might do to your vehicle or yourself, do you?
That's right, and it's interesting to listen also to your previous caller who spoke about motorway service areas, and they are a critical part of everyone's journey on motorways. And apparently 94% of motorists are very or fairly satisfied with the motorway service areas, which surprised me. Because
why?
The sky-high petrol prices for a start, and the food and drink came in for criticism. It's the toilets that ranked highly right across the board with the motorway service areas, but the criticism pointed on food and drink with the lack of choice, the high costs and lack of healthy options, and also with the move to electric vehicles, lack of charging points, that's a big problem, and satisfaction dropped from 68% to 55% on that point, with waiting times, lack of charging points, and the risk of being hit with a private parking ticket for having to wait for so long, to get a working charging point.
Yeah, because you'll only be there for a certain number of hours, or they expect you to be there for a certain number of hours. But if you're sitting and waiting to get charged up, and then you got to sit there and wait to be charged, the minutes and hours keep ticking by, don't they?
Yeah, that's right. And also there's the cost as well, because with the popularity of EVs increasing, the cost of these charge points on the motorways, they've got a captive market, haven't they? And it costs more now, apparently, to charge an EV than it does to fill a conventional car with petrol and diesel.
Oh, goodness. Well, that's something that would need to be addressed if we're all, being expected to move to electrics. And how do Britain's roads compare to other countries?
I think they're abysmal, and I'm not alone in saying that. I think anybody who drives in Europe, whether it's France, Spain, Poland, the one thing that you notice straight away is the sheer quality of the roads. No potholes, clear markings, and no roadworks, and it's just a pleasure to drive on the roads in Europe. Whereas here, it's not the same, is it? Yeah, that's my take on it. I mean, I know from going to Spain, for example, when you get from Alicante on the Costa Blanca rather, the quality of the roads is amazing, and the motorways are well maintained, and even the local roads as well.
Interesting, but not always the same great views that we have here.
It's true. Yeah, that's true, mate.
But, you deal with complaints. You're the complaints resolver. Do you get many motoring complaints?
Yeah, mostly on private parking tickets is a big problem. Signage, and it's an unregulated industry, and it's worth over £1 billion a year. And the UK government were proposing to bring in regulation back in 2019